Om Sahanavavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitam Rutavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashaadhyayinim Amba Tvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshinim Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam. My namaskars to you all who are listening this talk and meditation on Srimad Bhagavad Gita. We are in the midst of the 6th chapter, Shashtodhyayaha, Dhyana Yoga, the way of meditation, the yoga through meditation. And we were discussing one of the very renowned verse of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. In response to the question of Arjuna regarding the control of mind, and Bhagwan has answered his query and gave the solution in these two words. In the first line, or strictly speaking in two charanas, this verse or shloka, it is in Anushtup Chanda, and it is said that it has 4 charanas or 4 quarters. So first line can be said as 2 quarters, and the next line can be said as another 2 quarters. So why they are called as quarters and not halves or one line and other line? Because in Chanda or in meter, Rasva, Dirgha, they are considered as matras. So Rasva Matra is considered as 1 and Dirgha Matra is considered as 2. In this way, there is a perfect sum of the total number of characters, Rasva and Dirgha included. So they must be within a fixed number of matras. And that's why one quarter is of so many matras, and another quarter of so many matras, and likewise. So especially when we chant these verses, so they becomes very evident. So how it is said? Now taking this verse itself as example. So here in the Ramakrishna Math we chant in this way. So this many times there is, because this is poetry and this is in meter, there is a tune, a simple tune is set to it. So it becomes easier for the student to chant as well as to memorize, and so as to follow the Hrasva and Dirgha, the short and long pronunciation of the characters. So it will be said like this, it will be chanted like this. Asamshayam mahabaho manodurnigraham chalam abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha gruhyate. So when I say asamshayam mahabaho, so this is one quarter. Manodurnigraham chalam, so this is second quarter. So abhyasena tu kaunteya, this is third quarter. Vairagyena cha gruhyate, this is fourth quarter. It also helps in memorizing it easier way, easily. So in first two quarters, Bhagavan asserted that conquered to the opinion and difficulty cited by Arjuna, that this mind is very difficult to control. It is so much difficult, it is as difficult as to control the wind. So Bhagavan says, yes, asamshayam, no doubt. Verily, indeed, it is true, O mighty I am one. So, meaning that even for a mightier person like Arjuna, to discipline the mind, it is difficult indeed. Mano dur nigraham. Duh means kashtena. Dushkarena nigraham. To control this mind, because it is so restless, it is always in constant state of flux. So it is not its nature to be steady, it is always restless. Indeed. So now we have also discussed this idea that why restlessness and therefore disciplining of the mind is so important for us to discuss. Whereas Arjuna has cited or brought up this point with respect to the adeptness, earning proficiency into yoga. He has brought up this point with respect to earn that proficiency, steadiness into yoga. But we had discussed that how it is so important, so vital, so essential about just how to live our life. The quality of life depends upon this factor. How well your mind is trained, how you have inculcated, how you have nurtured your mind. So that's why it is very important for us. And important to know what Bhagavan says in response to this question now. And we have discussed in these two words Bhagavan had said, Abhyasa and Vairagya. Now Abhyasa we had discussed and Vairagya also in the last class. Now, taking departure from the traditional meaning of Vairagya, I had explained Vairagya as Viparita Raga. And as I said it, that this explanation is not, or this meaning of Vairagya is not unfounded one or concocted one. Because Yoga Sutra itself uses this kind of methodology, Viparita Bhavanam. One Yoga Sutra is there. So, Yoga Sutra, Patanjali himself employs this methodology. And furthermore, Sri Ramakrishna, I have cited this example of his again and again and again and again. Many times, that's why we ask people to read books themselves and have sadhu sangha. These two things we tell. To understand this subject matter and to have the right and correct understanding of it. And why we say so? Because many people say they see YouTube videos. Now YouTube videos, they can be of various types, but especially the movies and the serials which are made and portraying Sri Ramakrishna and his character. Even dramas in West Bengal, mostly they are done. And it is so horrible for us to see. Sri Ramakrishna is shown in most of them as some kind of effeminate kind of person. Whereas his own disciple says he is a Purusha Singha. I cannot come to bring these two ideas together. So how distorted our mind can be. The Sri Ramakrishna is a great devotee of Mother Kali. All the time his mind rushes into samadhi. And what kind of idea when a creator, a dramatist, when he visualizes, how he is visualizing Sri Ramakrishna. And from then I am trying to imbibe, suppose seeing such drama or movie or serial, what a wrong notion I develop in myself. Why I brought up this topic? Because Sri Ramakrishna he was the person, he always taught and insisted upon Purushartha, that self-effort. He never liked something, this namby-pamby and imbecile attitude. He never liked. He always insisted on the self-effort. So, and why I am saying this now here in this context? Like once there is one very one oft-quoted or very popular one of his teachings said in few words like that that the wind of the grace of God is always flowing. You have to but raise the shield of your ship. Now, so ईश्वर की कृपा की हवा सब समय बह रही है. आपको केवल आपकी नाव का वो शील्ड, उसको हिंदी में क्या कहते मुझे पता नहीं, तो बंगाल में तो काफी ये सब बोट चलती थी, पहले भी चलती थी, तो बंगला में उसको पाल बोलते हैं, पाल. तो जो शील्ड जो हवा को रोकता है और इसकी वजह से उस बोट को मोशन मिलता है. सो यू हैव टू रेज दैट शील्ड. एंड हाउ डिफिकल्ट आर टू अंडरस्टैंड द डेप्थ ऑफ द वर्ड्स ऑफ दिस ग्रेट पीपल. I now quoted this to a devotee. I said, do you understand the meaning of this? It looks very nice, very simple. That you have to raise but the shield because His grace is always flowing. Do you understand the meaning of it? The meaning of it is, I said, see, Sri Ramakrishna is escaping. That way, he said, there is nothing, no special grace. What? You can earn anything by your self-effort. That your dependence and slavery, that God will come and do something, is Sri Ramakrishna is saying, there is nothing on the part of God to do. His grace is always blowing. What you lack is your self-effort. You are not doing enough. It is not that you lack the grace of God. God's grace is always there. That's what Sri Ramakrishna is teaching. Do you conquer to this idea, or are you living or practicing in your devotion in this way? The self-effort. Otherwise, we are always in this mode that, oh God, when you will bless me, when I will have your grace, when you will shower your grace upon me, etc., etc. That as if he has done everything and only God has to send his grace upon that person. So Sri Ramakrishna does not agree to it. Now the point is, he has various ways he has professed this idea that you must be up and doing, you must be proactive, you must do something. That only words, only beliefs and only good notions is not enough. You must act. Very wonderful word Swami Sardananji Maharaj, who wrote this his biography, Sri Ramakrishna Leela Prasanga, or in English, Sri Ramakrishna and his Divine Play. That spiritual classic written by his disciple Swami Sardananji Maharaj. Now Swami Sardananji here writes about Sri Ramakrishna about the time when Sri Ramakrishna set on to the path of his long, arduous journey of spiritual practice of about 12 years in Dakshineshwar. And what was the frame of mind of Sri Ramakrishna at that time? Swami Sardananji is writing about that. And it struck me forever what Maharaj wrote about Sri Ramakrishna. That he wrote that whenever an idea is to come to him, meaning Sri Ramakrishna, or is to cross his heart, he never used to stop before he could take that idea to its ultimate conclusion. So that was the kind of person, that was the nature of Sri Ramakrishna. Once an idea come and we see that he is to completely dedicate and immerse and lose everything after that idea, and to see how far it can be taken till it is completely materialized. That was the nature of Sri Ramakrishna. Now, that's why the idea of the self-effort is very essential. The very core of Sri Ramakrishna's teachings. He does not disown the grace of God, is not like that. And verily he always tries to have balanced attitude of these both ideas. We understand. For example, there was Swami Turiyanandaji Maharaj. In his younger days, he was man, of different temperament, of very self-believing, self-reliant, and a manly man. He was just a merely child when his mother died, and he was raised by his elder brother's wife. And at the age of 11 or 13, he had decided that he will dedicate his life to the pursuit of the Vedantic truths, to realize them. At the age of 13, you can imagine. So these people are different. So now, when he in his 16, 17 age, and when he first came to meet Sri Ramakrishna, as soon as in the first meeting he was so much drawn towards him, and in the second meeting, somewhat like that, so he went to see Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna had gone to Calcutta in some devotee's house, and there he was talking to devotees and explaining some matters on spiritual life. Now there he is explaining the importance, he is deliberating upon the importance of the grace of God. And then this Hari Maharaj, Swami Turiyananda, he goes there, and when he is saying a very flowing eulogy of the grace or compassion of God, Hari Maharaj says to him that then Purushakara or Purushartha or self-effort does not have any meaning. So without Purushartha, and there are some treatises like Yoga Vasishta, which is the sermon of sage Vasishta to Rama. It is one of the very celebrated epic on the matters of spiritual life and spiritual practices, and also on the Vedanta. So it is more lenient or inclined towards the self-effort Purushartha. So now Hari Maharaj said to Sri Ramakrishna, then the Purushartha, without Purushartha nothing can be attained. He is saying without self-effort. And how Sri Ramakrishna responds to him? What Sri Ramakrishna says to him? Sri Ramakrishna says that in his sweet Bengali, he said that. So he said that isn't that self-effort also comes to the person by the grace of God? Can everybody do the self-effort as he simply wish? And he was struck by this idea that yes, this is true. Not every person, if he simply wish and can do the self-effort, that it must be given by God to him, then only he will be capable to do that. So this is Sri Ramakrishna's all the time. He is to counterbalance the attitude of the people, so they have the balanced attitude, and which can come more closer to the truth. The truth is not one-sided and compartmentalized. So they can understand from this apparently self-contradictory concepts, you can grasp the truth itself. What is more important, or what is true? What is the self-effort or compassion? Truth is not one-sided. Now, here in this context, so once Vairagya, in the last class we discussed this term Vairagya. In generally speaking, traditionally, Vairagya is defined as Vitaraga. I had said that many times the idea of Vairagya comes with a sort of negative connotation, attitude of condensation, not only of dislike, but a sort of a snark, a deploring attitude towards it, towards something. That's why, who talk about Vedanta or very high spirituality. So they say, suppose, many times. So, attitude towards, suppose, women folks. तो स्त्री नरक का द्वार है. This kind of ideas you might have heard. So similarly, like there are many kinds of ideas like pratishtha, which we love so much, that prestige. Pratishtha, shukari vishtha, or these pleasures of the world, they are like the filth of a pig, etc., etc. The point here is, it is just allegorical. It is not supposed to be taken literally. That is not the point to be driven. It does not teach you to hate something. That is not the point. It is for that person who is like Sri Ramakrishna himself, he used to do that Mati, Sona, Sona, Mati, that gold is like the clay. He is practicing that. And he is to throw some clay into the Ganga, and he is to throw some coin which he had into the Ganga. That they are both same. To impress upon him, to imbibe, to absorb, to really, it's not just they are words, but they are the real attitude. So Sri Ramakrishna did various kinds of this sadhana, that to imbibe this attitude. This is called as Viparita Bhavanam. Now, what happens? So, spiritual life is difficult, path is difficult, and an individual, he has his own ups and downs, etc., etc. So, various warning, various cautions, they are being given, how to behave, how to conduct, especially if you want to live a totally dedicated life. So, this idea will come just 2 verses later. Swami Vivekananda said that I am not surprised that so many people, lakhs of people fail on this path. I am surprised that how somebody succeeds. How somebody succeeds. So, in Upanishad also they are explaining that it is like walking on the edge of the razor. Shurasya dhara nishitya duratyaya durgam pathastat kavayo vadanti. Kavayo means Kavi means the Gyani. They are saying this, that this is so difficult. Now, this attitude of despise, it is not meant for that person to exercise. It is for that person internally to convince, so that he can live this and lift up his mind and direct it to a higher objective. That is, that where his mind is simply attached to something. Many times there are such incidences, like some husband is so much attached to his wife, and his wife is saying that you are attached to this filth. If this much attachment, if you would have shown towards God, you would have realized God, etc. Case in point, the life story of Swami Tulsidas. So but in this idea of Vairagya, it is, so somehow, sometime people show this. Many times it comes as, because these things are very difficult to digest, they come as a show off. Showing something, patronizing, lowly attitudes towards others. This is not the idea of Vairagya. This is not Vairagya. So, Vairagya, especially if we just take the meaning, it is absence of raga. Vita raga. Absence, that you do not have attachment. He didn't say that you should have hatred. He should have despise. You should have condescending, condemning attitude towards anything else. Maybe it is money, maybe it is something or whatever. But in the larger scene, there are different people, different capacities, and these things are, of course, we have to understand these things. So, Vairagya is absence of attachment. But Sri Ramakrishna, when this idea came, Sri Ramakrishna discusses. The chronicler of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, Sri Mahendranath Datta, or simply put, Yam. He used to use this name, abbreviation, and not to use his name completely, so that it was his humility, that it is not him, as it were. Now, to Yam, one day, he said, this discussion came up, this idea, this topic of Vairagya came up. And he asked, Sri Ramakrishna asked to him, to Yam, that what is Vairagya? And Then he was a very learned and erudite person, and he answered as best. So having attitude of despise towards the pleasures or towards the world in general, not to go seek or run after the world, that was somewhat in that tone he said something. Mahendranath Gupta said. Now Sri Ramakrishna explained him, he said, see, Vairagya is Vishaye Viraga, that not having attachment in the sensory pleasures, sensory objects. But he didn't stop there. Vishaye Virag, and he added further that Ishvare Anuraga. That it is not sufficient that you have no attachment towards the sensory objectives or towards the lower pleasures, but it must be complemented by this higher ambition, Ishvare Anuraga. That it must be, this raga must be very well placed. Many times he has said this idea that with respect to the control of the kama desires, how it can be won, how it can be conquered. He said, Are, how it can be conquered? You are born out of it. He said, Mod ghuriye dao. That he said, you must give it the right turn. That force is within you. You must direct it towards something desirable, higher side. He said that if it is directed towards the body, it is kama. And if it is directed towards the Chaitanya, Ishvara, then it is prema. This kama itself, this force itself can be transformed into a pure devotion. It is the same energy. Only its particulars are to be changed. Its directions are to be changed. The same thing can be very viable, very desirable, and it can cater for the evolution of that individual. That individual can be transformed from a slave to basal instincts to somebody who has ushered into a dimension of spirit, of non-material, of ethereal joys, a free individual. So this is the thing that is to be cultivated, that effort has to be made. So idea of Vairagya therefore is discussed again. So they are one of the very essential. So Shankaracharya, Adya Shankaracharya, in his Vivek Chudamani, he says that these four things are essential for any spiritual aspirant. The first thing is Viveka, that this knowledge, this enlightenment, this awakening to that individual, that what is permanent and what is transient. Sat, Asat, Viveka Buddhi. This must come. This discrimination must come. He must get awakened to this truth. That is essential. Without that, nothing can happen. Viveka. Then only that person, knowing this transient, temporal nature of the things, ephemeral nature of these things, of the world, of its pleasures, of its limitations, of its paltry pettiness, that he come to understand at the on contrary to it, that there is something higher, intense, sustainable, permanent, pervasive, that it can be attained, and it is very near to him, and a desire develops. That's why, and the desire to attain this is called as mumuksha. First this discrimination. Then the desire for the higher thing is called as the viveksha. Then the desire to leave these things, the lower things, they are called as the vairagya. So viveka, vairagya, mumuksha. These three things. And what is the fourth thing? In that fourth thing, he said 6 qualities. These 6 qualities being, they are called as Shamadhi, Shat, Sampatti. So Shama, Dama, Uparati, Titiksha, Shraddha and Samadhan. So these 6 things, they are called as essential quality for a spiritual aspirant. So with this discretion, with this knowledge will come desire to leave the lower pleasures, the lower objectives, the lower desires. That is called as vairagya. There is a higher desire, there is a higher ambition to go and seek that moksha. So first viveka, then vairagya, moksha, and then samadhi, shat sampatti. These are the 4 essentials for any spiritual aspirant. To build something, to do something. So now it is 6:11. So I was thinking whether to explain or take up this topic of Samadhi Shat Sampatti, which I just mentioned. But I will just briefly tell you that they are generally told as 6 qualities. But today itself, we discussed, and they can be understood as one by one step leading to other, to the control of the mind. To the control of the mind. So in this context, yes, we can say that, but to explain it nicely, to form the idea of it, it certainly requires time. So what it says that Shama means the control, the quietude of the mind. That when there is a situation, that some portion of the back of mind, when there is a chaos going on, there is some portion of your mind must be reserved, and it must be, sanity must be preserved, straight direction which is having result, where you want to, you decide that I will not go by or panicked by or run down by this chaos of the senses and the mind. I will conquer this. This is required. This little quietude, little sanity of the mind, this is required. This is called a Shama. To, when there is a panic, when there is a everything confused, everything garbled, and there you have to preserve some mind where you can clearly think that little portion. No, I will sort this thing out. That is called a Shama. That your senses are provoked, incited, and they are dancing, they are gone haywire. And you decide that you will confront them, you will face them. And you say to them that no, I will not go by your whims, I will not dance to your fancies. Nothing, I will not shake hands with you. This is called as Dhamma or Indriya Dhamana. That you said no to your. Otherwise, what is happening? There is no peace of your mind, which is that quiet, which is thinking straight, and your senses are unhindered, uninhibited. They are running amok. You say no to them, that you say stop. I am not going to go on building up these fancies of yours. Like what we do generally, that various that castles in the air, what we say, man ke pulao hum bante hain. Why we get deeply hurt? Many a time. This is this habit of ours. We build so much. We build so much on those ideas, on which might be, many times they are making us happier, many times they are negative also. So much so that to the extreme we go. Different kinds of depressions you see. There is a failure, there is something setback, some upset in the life. All right. You are not the only person or the first person this has happened to you. But so many layers go on building upon it. That what he must be thinking, nobody will like me, they might be laughing behind me. Negative things. And negatives are very addictive, very addictive. To come out of the trap of negative is very dangerous. It's very difficult. If somebody goes enough deep, that person will commit suicide probably, but will not leave the thought. That can be that dangerous. He will go deranged, he will lose his brain, but will not leave that. It can be that addictive. It is addictive. Remember that. It is giving that person pleasure. You ask him to come out of it. नहीं, मुझे अपने गम में जीने दो, मुझे अकेला छोड़ दो, रूम बंद करेगा. These people slowly get emaciated. Somebody takes to some substance abuse, drinking or some other kind of thing. They are not, and they make a whirlpool within their selves, and they want to die within it. That intensity they love. Intensity they love. वो अपने मन से तैयारी कर रहा है उसके अंदर, उसके भाव में, और उसमें वो खुद जाना चाहता है. इतना डर लग रहा है उसको, इतना भयानक लग रहा है, पर वो उतना एडिक्टिव है कि नहीं, मुझे उसमें जाना है. दिस इज द डेथ इज कॉलिंग मी. वो किसी का नहीं सुनता. More or less version of it, there is some difficulty. They don't want to face it, want to lose in some way or other. Forget them. वो अपने साथ रह ही नहीं सकता. People come, वो मतलब कुछ जॉब करेगा, उसमें काम करता रहेगा 8, 9, 10 बजे तक, 11 बजे तक. फिर उसके बाद कहीं पार्टी पे किसी पब में और कुछ खेलेगा, गैम्बलिंग खेलेगा, पैसा लूज हो रहा है, समथिंग इन सम काइंड ऑफ एक्साइटमेंट, रैश ड्राइविंग करेगा, कुछ भी, वेयर टू फॉरगेट. वो थ्रिल चाहिए. क्यों? He is not able to live with himself. Why he want that excitement? ये लाइफ बोरिंग हो गया, एक्साइटमेंट क्यों चाहिए? वो किक क्यों चाहिए उसको? That he is not able to sort out something in his life. उसको कुछ एक विधायक, that a definite, a constructive, a positive way. He don't want to face, he don't want to trade, he finds it uncomfortable. Either unknown or found it very difficult. Mundane, boring. So maybe there is no negative reason, so to say, within himself. But doing ordinary job is boring. That's why he want to do पाँच दिन वो कंप्यूटर प्रोग्राम है, 6-7 days or other days, 4 days or 5 days he is a computer programmer. Then वो जाता है माउंटेन ट्रेकिंग के लिए, रिवर राफ्टिंग के लिए. Means they could be as dangerous as anything possible. Bungee jumping के लिए, for 1 second, for few seconds, they give them that rush of adrenaline. Several feet from above, he jumps. For those seconds, वो thrill उसको देता है. That high, that kick he gives. He is always seeking that intensity. Intensity is seeking. Where everything is lost, he forgets. And his mind has become pinpointed. And he can feel the intensity of it. Now, this Dhamma, this idea of sense control, Shama and Dama, the quietude of the place when this is going on. When so this is how people go on this either this way or in such a negative way. He creates those kind of whirlpool, the layers of mind, of thoughts and ideas after it, in negative, many times positive way, that he thinks that, oh, I have got this opportunity, I will become successful that way. Like that a story was told of Sheikh Chilli ke sapne. You heard that story? That he was one lazy fellow and maybe little bit stupid also. So not having much job or much proper regular employment. So he was employed by some fellow, so that, will you do that work? He said, this is a tin, this is a can of this pot of ghee that you must carry to my village, my place, and for that, I will give you 2 rupees. 2 rupees I will give you. You have to walk this much distance. And he agrees. And the owner, the master, is walking forward. This fellow is walking behind. And while going on walking, he is thinking these ideas, that when I will get 2 rupees, I will do this. What I will do, I will buy some eggs. From those eggs, some chicklets will come out. Those chicklets will grow into chickens, hens, and they will lay more eggs. From these more eggs, there will be more hens, and more hens, I will sell them. Then I will get goats. Those goats will beget more goats, and there will be lots of goats. And from those goats, I will sell them. Then I will have cows. From those cows, there will be more cows. He is thinking like that. And then I will buy land, and I will employ people, and I will become very rich. And then some rich landlord, he will give his daughter's hand in mine. Then I will have a happy life. And then I will be sitting outside my palatial home outside, like nice, having this hubble bubble, drawing smoke from that. And then my wife, she will send my son and to say to me that go tell your father that the warm water for his bath is ready, and ask him to take bath, and he will be served a lunch, etc. like that. After that, and his son will come and say, father, please come, mother had said that water for your bath is ready, please come and take the bath. And I will say to him, no, I will not take right now. And when she actually shakes the head, and the pot falls. The pot of the ghee which was on his head, which he was carrying all this while thinking and dreaming everything, that pot falls. It breaks. All ghee is mixed into the soil. And instead of that, now that owner is very angry, because 2 rupees which was offered him, that ghee is much more costlier, and he thrashes this fellow left and right. खयाली पुलाव, ये स्टोरी को बोलते हैं, ये शेख चिल्ले के सपने हैं. How much? And you see, and disappointment is going to struck by your harboring such kind of dreams. Many times I am surprised to see people give side these kinds of ideas as a valid argument. मैंने ऐसा सोचा था, अरे भाई तुमको सोचने के लिए किसने बोला है? मैंने साहब ऐसे सपने देखे थे, अरे मैं तुम्हारे सपने मैं पूरे करूं क्या? Terrible idea. People cite these things as a valid argument, that I will be very hurt. Who is responsible for that? What a pathetic situation. So this is what these horses, these sense animals, they run amok. This is what they create. This is what they create. And Dhamma is exactly saying, stopping them. That's why this picture generally of Sri Krishna, who is the charioteer of the Arjuna, it is compared to a nice analogy. So he says that why Sri Krishna is Guru and giving advice to Arjuna, because Sri Krishna is Sanyatendriya. He has controlled his senses, those horses, and that's why he is talking to him in various ways. That idea is shown from those pictures, various ways. This idea is called as Dhamma, to saying no to your senses, not to create these layers, not to go run amok, no further creation of this idea. Stop. This is called as Dhamma. First idea I said to you, Shama. Where in the chaos you create a room and you make a resolve that I will not be run down by you. I will respond, I will stand still before you. Now, the Shama, then this Dhamma. And as soon as you say no to your senses, what happens? They become rebellious and make your life uncomfortable like hell. They will say we will suffocate you. And we will actually see many people, due to different kinds of news, they have heart attack, good or bad news. Some people have actually died of hearing the good news of they have won the lottery. How unfortunate. This fellow has won the lottery but actually could not enjoy the riches of it, and this fellow dies of heart attack. Oh, terrible. Or some bad news of some loss. Can you imagine the ideas? They can actually take your life out. Now, so as soon as you say no to your senses, you say, you do Daman of Indriyas. So what does? They become very restless, uncomfortable, as if you are going to die. That you are not going to, this is not possible, this is not tenable, this is not feasible, nobody has done like that. Nobody has done like that. This is not something, this is not possible, you cannot do it. They are mounting pressure upon you like anything. So and to stand still before them, this is what is called as the third idea, titiksha, the third quality. That you stand still. You forbear the pressure. Bring it on. That without my doing anything, you cannot do anything. This is the ultimate truth. To good or bad, I must consent. Without that, nothing is going to happen. This is the fact. I gave the example as if you are the factory owner or the administration and there is a strike of the employees, and imagine that you are not going to cede to their demand and you say this is final, and see what kind of chaos will create. Every time, now this arm twisting, pushing and bullying, this starts. That they will run down, they will burn this thing, that thing, etc., etc. But this is illegal, you cannot do. So they can create a lot of pressure. But if you maintain your sanity, you do not swerve from this, the second idea of Dhamma, you do not cooperate with them, and you stand still, third idea, titiksha. Then, after some time, their energy will exhaust, and then you can start negotiation. This is called as uparati. This is the fourth idea. That you try to convince them, try to pursue them to return from the way they have gone wayward, to come to something which is positive, which is constructive, for which we must all try and work and cooperate. This is called as uparati. Means they have been gone and they have become entangled and attached. This is called as rati, ramanti. From there, they have been asked to pursue, to return back. Uparati. Come back. Uparati. Like senses, they have gone into the world. You are asking them to come back. And they ask, where? And then you say, Shraddha. Shraddha is seeing that Chaitanya which is not Jada. Vishaya or Jada. Chaitanya. What? Where they have been cited through? Through your scriptures. From the words of the Guru and the Mahapurushas. That this is the Atman. This is what can ensure your continuous, sustained and everlasting peace and higher intensity of joys which you were seeking all the time. Material matter pleasures can never, sensory pleasures can never do that. Your nature is infinite, your desire, your thirst is infinite, and nothing but infinite can quench it. What you need is this. What you are desirous, what you are seeking truly is this Satchidananda, your true nature. That is within you. You do not have to seek it outside. Your direction is wrong. Come back. See, this is called as Shraddha. That this lies within yourself. And you orient their direction. Now once they are convinced of this Shraddha is attained, and that person, that mind, that individual, that spiritual aspirant, when he has withdrawn, now with the Shama, he has faced his senses, he has restrained them, he has brought his mind back, and now that Shraddha is attained, that here lies the truth, the Satchidananda, the pure spirit, and here lies the transcendence and deliverance. Here is the emancipation. And he says now that samadhana, the last quality is samadhana, that concentrate yourself, focus, samahita, that we absorbed into it. That is the end, that is the conclusion. That if this is attained, that person has become victorious. This he does again and again and again and again to train his mind. Buddha once said that a person who might have defeated 100 other soldiers, 1,000 soldiers, 1,000 times, and on the other hand there is a person who has faced, battled and won over his mind, I can very much assure you that second person is any time great than the first person. This is the battle within, this is the Kurukshetra within. And for that, these are the two ideas Bhagavan cited, Abhyasa and Vairagya. These things, these will ensure our success and progress in our spiritual life. So here we will take the break, and from the next verse. So probably in the next Sunday there is Ekadashi. So next Sunday there will not be class again due to Ekadashi, because at that the very same time there would be Ramnam Sankirtan in the temple. So next class we will not be able to take Gita. So again the next Sunday there will be class. Okay. So from this next verses, verse number 36, we will take in the next class. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. विजय, ये टेबल थोड़ा सामने आ गया है, थोड़ा पीछे करना है.